Welcome to Higher Health, the podcast that elevates your understanding of health beyond the conventional into a realm where mind, body, and spirit align. If you're ready to rise above the noise of traditional health approaches and connect deeply with your inner wisdom, you're in the right place. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Rodgers, a heart-centered, Harvard-trained epidemiologist, researcher, medical intuitive, and transformational health and longevity expert. In this space, we explore the profound journey of health and well-being, where every choice aligns with your highest self. Together, we'll unlock the true essence of being healthy, empowered, and whole. Welcome back to Higher Health with Dr. Elizabeth Rodgers, where we redefine health and create transformation on a foundation of connection to ourselves, mind, body, and spirit, so you can uncover the medicine that lives within you. Today, we're talking about something that helps shape your life, but you may rarely stop to examine: your attention. Your attention may be one of the most powerful forces shaping your health and your life. And it may also be one of the biggest barriers standing between you and the optimal higher health you desire. So before we go any further, notice, where is your attention right now? Hopefully, it's right here in the present moment. But if it isn't, that's okay. Bring it back. Because this episode is not about maintaining perfect focus. It's about becoming aware of where your attention goes and recognizing that wherever your attention goes, you go with it. Ideally, your attention is always focused on the present moment, right here, right now. But realistically, your attention is most likely scattered. Do you ever read a book and find yourself rereading something you just read because you realize you aren't fully paying attention? Or do you ever listen to a podcast and go back 15 seconds because you realize you didn't fully hear what was just said? Do you ever watch a YouTube video and rewatch part of it? Does someone ever tell you their name and you realize you don't remember it just a few seconds or minutes later? These are a few examples that I'm sure you can relate to. I sure can. And these examples are evidence of scattered attention. But when you're not fully in the moment and you're not fully paying attention, where is your attention? You are where your attention is. This is a really powerful lesson I learned from one of my mentors, Jim Fortin. Let me say it one more time. If you're not paying attention or you're multitasking right now, really listen to this. Really listen this time. You are where your attention is. This is the key takeaway for you today, and it has everything to do with your health. When your attention is not on the present moment, when it's everywhere, but right here, right now, where is it? Where do you choose to put your attention? Is it on something positive? Or is it on something negative? Are you putting your attention on being healthy? Or is your attention on worrying about your health? This isn't the first time I've talked about this concept with you on the show. It won't be the last time either, because this is that important. I want to tell you a story that highlights today's lesson in a powerful way. Someone I care very deeply about was recently navigating some health issues. She was experiencing a lot of anxiety and fear as a result. The anxiety was getting so severe, she was starting to have anxiety and panic attacks. I did my best to be supportive and lovingly suggested some nervous system support. Our nervous systems will control us if we let them. And we can use tools we possess like anchoring into the present moment with our five senses and conscious breathing to get back into the driver's seats of our nervous systems. I've talked about some of these tools on previous episodes. So you can check out episode 72, among others, and you can be sure I will talk about nervous system health and restoration a lot more in future episodes. But back to the story. Unfortunately, my beloved friend continued to experience physical health symptoms. One day, I got a message from her that her husband took her to the emergency room because the symptoms got so severe, she didn't know what else to do and needed help. The doctor at the ER treated her, and fortunately, all of the testing done there was normal. The doctor sent her home with an order to get some follow-up blood work done. A few days later, my friend went to the doctor to get the blood work done, but it didn't get done. They refused to do the testing she needed, and her insurance would not cover it. And paying out of pocket was not an option. Teary-eyed and anxious, my friend went home. Fear, worry, and anxiety started ramping up. She wanted this testing done, and it wasn't getting done. When she told me what happened, my heart sank for her. I didn't like knowing this was upsetting her, and I saw how this worry and anxiety was negatively impacting her. Again, I lovingly suggested she implement some nervous system regulation tools that I taught her. It's one thing to learn the tools, but it's another thing to use them. Consistency and persistency are key, as Edgar Cayce used to say, and it's absolutely true. If you want to be healthy, then you want a regulated nervous system. And if you want a regulated nervous system, you need to be consistent and persistent with using the free tools you always have available to you. All of this requires connection, the foundation of optimal higher health. When you choose to be connected, mind, body, spirit, and source, then from that grounded place of connection, it's a whole lot easier to support, strengthen, and regulate your nervous system. If you're disconnected, it's a whole lot easier to stay dysregulated and to let your attention keep you in anxiety, worry, and fear. Speaking of connection, I also gently and lovingly offered this guidance to my friend. Be connected and trust your divine guidance. Trust source. It's possible that nervous system dysregulation is contributing to what you're experiencing. Regulating your nervous system will help you meet the uncertainty from a steadier, more connected place. If the blood work needs to be done, trust that another path will open. And while you continue taking the appropriate steps, you do not have to let fear consume the space between now and the answer. Even if the blood work shows that something needs to be addressed, it still may not fully explain or resolve whatever took you to the hospital in the first place. So let's practice being connected together and remembering that divine support, source, the universe, God, whatever you call it, has your back. And it will all work itself out. I knew this advice would help my friend put her attention on being connected and regulated, and that it would help her be calm and peaceful in the midst of a challenge. So another week passed and another. Then I got a message from my friend. She said, "You're never going to believe what happened." And this is where the story gets so good. She took her sweet little son to the mall one day and ran into a friend she hadn't seen in a few years. So, of course, they took some time to catch up. My friend ended up sharing the story of what she went through at the hospital and how she was refused when she attempted to get her follow-up testing done. The woman she was chatting with ends up telling my friend that her brother is a doctor at the local hospital. Then she proceeded to call her brother on the spot, and her brother offered to do the blood work for her that same day, and it got done completely for free. To top it all off, my friend's results came back totally normal. My friend said to me, "You were right. I just decided to stop caring about the blood work and I let it go. If it was meant to be, then it would be." And look what happens when we connect and we trust. Oof. My eyes got watery and filled with a lot of happy tears and gratitude that day. I felt my friend's delight and her gratitude through her message. I love, love, love this story so much. It's real. It is living proof of what is possible for every single one of us. It's living proof of what's possible for you if you choose it. My friend could have chosen to keep her attention on anxiety, fear, and worry. Instead, she decided to be connected and to trust in source, in divine guidance, to let go of the how, and look what happened. Just like that, without her worrying, without her being anxious, without her stressing over how this was going to get done, it all worked out. My friend's story proves that you are where your attention is. If your attention repeatedly lives in negativity, fear, and worst case scenarios, your mind, body, and nervous system will repeatedly experience those states. They can shape your energy, your choices, and the way you move through your health and your life. If your attention is constantly focused on being unhealthy or worrying about inheriting the health issues experienced by your family members, those fears will begin to influence your experience of health. And you may find yourself experiencing the exact things you are worrying or fearful about. Attention does not control every medical outcome, but it profoundly influences the conditions you create within yourself. On the other hand, when your attention is on being healthy, connected, regulated, and present, you create internal conditions that better support healing, optimal health, wise action, and divine guidance. You make room for possibilities and solutions you may not be able to see while fear is consuming your attention. Is it worth it to you to spend your most valuable currency, your time and energy, on negativity, fear, worry, anxiety, etc.? If you're navigating any health symptoms, pain, or setbacks right now, is it worth it to you to hang on to obsessing over the how with a death grip? How will this get better? How will I heal? How will I lose this weight? How will I get rid of this symptom? How will I fix it? What would happen if you stopped? What would happen if, when you realize your attention is on those unhelpful thoughts, you choose to move your attention to something positive like being connected, being grateful, being regulated, being present, being healthy even in the midst of a challenge? Because I hate to break it to you, but if you're a human being living on planet Earth, the challenges will never end. They are a part of life. They are here to teach us if we will let them. None of us knows how much time we get here in this lifetime. So where do you want to place your attention? If your attention is constantly on the negativity and divisiveness in the world, where do you think you will be? You will be enmeshed in drama, negativity, and polarization. Is that what you want to be a part of? Is that the kind of health and life you want to create? You are where your attention is. So if you don't like where you are with your health or your life, move your attention. If you're struggling to move your attention, then take a step back and get connected. Mind, body, spirit, and source. It is and can be as simple as some intentional, conscious breaths. How would your health be different today if you decided to move your attention to being connected and trusting that everything will work out the way it's supposed to? How would your life be different? You get to co-create whatever experience of health and life that you decide to take responsibility for creating. And this requires your attention. This is how powerful you are. You are where your attention is. And even if your health and life aren't where you want them to be today, every time you return your attention to health while grounding yourself in connection, you are choosing and creating the conditions for higher health. And so it is. It's your choice. You can be limited or you can be limitless. Before you go, take one more moment and notice where your attention is right now. Is it here? Are you connected to your body? Are you aware of your breath? Are you present enough to recognize what you're feeling and conscious enough to choose where your attention goes next? You cannot control every thought. You do not have to eliminate every fear. You do not have to pretend that challenges, symptoms, or uncertainty are not real. But you can notice when your attention has become trapped in fear, worry, obsession, or the endless question of how. And then you can bring it back. Back to your breath. Back to your body. Back to the present moment. Back to connection. back to your consciousness, which is who you really are, and brings you back to the health and life you are choosing to create. Your attention is valuable. It is your time, your energy, and your creative power. Spend it intentionally. You are where your attention is. And again, it's your choice. You can be limited or you can be limitless. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And I have one sincere request before you go. Please leave an honest 5-star review if you like to help people. It really is that simple. Your review helps this podcast reach someone who may desperately need a different way of understanding their health, their body, and their own power. Taking a minute to leave a review could be the reason this message finds the person who needs it next. Please also share this episode with someone whose attention has been consumed by fear, worry, or health anxiety. It may help them reconnect with themselves and remember that they have more power than they realize. And so do you. Until next time, stay connected, honor your body, trust the wisdom within you, and keep creating higher health, mind, body, and spirit. Connection is the key, and you are the medicine. Thank you so much for listening to Higher Health with Dr. Elizabeth Rodgers. If you enjoyed the show today, it would mean so very much to me if you subscribe to the show and leave an honest, positive review. You can easily subscribe by going to the upper right-hand corner of Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Odyssey, or wherever you listen to podcasts, and press the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner. Also, be sure to sign up for my email list and join my private Substack community to get even more content, value, and support on your health and well-being journey. You'll find these links in the show notes. Sending you so much positive and supportive energy today. I really hope you can feel it. The information shared on this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any medical or mental health condition. It is not a substitute for individualized advice, diagnosis, or treatment from a qualified healthcare professional. Always seek appropriate medical care for new, worsening, persistent, or concerning symptoms and call emergency services when immediate care is needed.